We start with the latest at Nottingham Forest, who are set to break a Premier League record by appointing their fourth permanent manager of the season. And former Wolves boss Vitor Pereira looks set to replace the sacked Sean Dyche. Let's go back live to Kirsty Edwards outside the City ground. Kirsty, sometimes these can be long hauls for reporters, but thankfully for you, it's moved very quickly. What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, it's about 14 and a half hours, isn't it, since we had that statement from Forest confirming the departure of Sean Dyche. They thanked him and his coaching team in quite a short statement. So they haven't hung around since then. Things have been moving at a pace. It's always looked likely that Vitor Pereira was the favourite to take over here. And he has agreed in principle to become the new head coach here at Nottingham Forest. Now, the finer details of any kind of contract, any kind of deal still being worked on. So no official confirmation yet. And we won't necessarily get that today. While things have moved quickly, Forest not in any immediate rush because, of course, they're not in action this weekend. There were some highs and lows of the short time that Sean Dyche spent here as head coach. One of the lows was going out to Wrexham in the FA Cup. So that means that there'll be no game for Forest this weekend. However, they are in European action again next week. They've got the first leg of a playoff in the Europa League against Fenerbahce. That's away, that leg. So they would very much like somebody in charge, no doubt, to get the team ready for that. A very important game coming up for them in Europe next week. And yeah, it is not been confirmed, but edging ever closer, and it does look very likely that Vitor Pereira will be the fourth man in charge here at Nottingham Forest.
OK, Kirsty, why has Evangelos Marinakis opted for Pereira?
Well, first of all, they know each other. They've worked with each other previously. They have a relationship already. Vitor Pereira was at Olympiacos. He actually won the Greek Super League for Evangelos Marinakis. So he's won him some silverware in the past. They will know each other well in terms of that working relationship. And look, Forest needs somebody to come in and to be able to hit the ground running pretty quickly. They need to know the Premier League, and I think importantly, they could really do with knowing what it takes to get a club out of the situation that Forest are in right now. They are out of the relegation zone at the moment, but only by 3 points. And that's one of the reasons why Evangelos Marinakis decided to part ways with Sean Dyche. He was really hoping that by this stage they would be further away from that relegation zone. Now, when Vitor Pereira took over at Wolves, it was December 2024. They were second from bottom at that stage, and he took them on what was an incredible run. He got to work really quickly. He got a great team spirit going there. All the players knew exactly what they were doing, and some brilliant results he pulled out in that second half of the season. So from taking over in December with them second from bottom, he got them 17 points clear of the relegation zone by the end of the season. So I think, you know, that is the kind of Vitor Pereira Forest will hope to see, not the Vitor Pereira that perhaps Wolves saw at the start of this season when things went pretty wrong before his departure. So I think that's, you know, what Evangelos Marinakis is hoping to see. We know he's a man with big ambitions. He doesn't want them to just scrape by and scrape out of this relegation fight. He wants to see them moving up the table pretty quickly. But a big task for whoever comes in, looking likely to be Vitor Pereira. It all starts in terms of the Premier League action here at the City Ground a week on Sunday against Liverpool, no less. In the next up-and-coming games, they've also got games against Manchester City and against the likes of Spurs and Brighton, who are just above them in the Premier League table right now. So some big games coming up in the Premier League. They need to start scoring some more goals. 35 shots here at the City Ground last night, and they could not get that ball into the net. So yeah, he needs to get this team scoring more goals and moving away from this relegation zone. So yeah, ever closer. May not get a confirmation today. We'll wait to see. But Vitor Pereira has agreed to become the new head coach of Nottingham Forest. The finer details of the deal still being sorted.
Thank you very much, Kirsty.